Hello everyone, welcome back. Sorry, I took a longer break. I was I received a phone call and I need to attend that because it was important. And yes, okay, let's start solving the challenge. Let me share the my okay. Let's see if that works. Yes, great. So, okay, to solve the challenge, we need okay, open the make file. One second. Yes, make file. And what it said is we have a book that is called last, so add this another rule for that book. So here, for example, we type the dependency is the dependency is last dot that. Sorry, last dot that. And then we type colon, and then we type the. Sorry, I said last dot that is the target, and now I need to specify the dependencies. Dependencies are books, last dot txt, and then here don't forget to type press a tab. Depends sometimes when you when you use another text editor, could change instead when you type tab, it could introduce several spaces, and you can have an error. But yes, normally if you use normally most of the editors don't do that. So just to let you know that in case that you press tab and you get several spaces, it could be well, not an issue, but a feature of the editor that changed that. So, and then here, what I need is to type the command python count words dot py books dot sorry last dot txt and the last dot that. Okay, so this is done. The first part. The second part is update the that rule with the target. So I need to add the target that last dot that done. And then they say that we need to write a new a new rule to generate the file results.txt. So let's do that. So let's call the file okay. The target. What I want to generate? I want to generate results.txt. And what are the dependencies? The dependencies are il.dat, avis.dat, and the last.dat. Sorry. These are the dependencies. And now I need to type the command that in our case is Python. The script is test shift dot py, and now I need to introduce the data files that are avis avis.dat that and .dat. And I want to save that in results.txt. So this is the file that we will do. So if I okay, let's save that. And if I do make results.txt, you will see that this command is executed, and this command is also executed. If you realize for isle.txt and abyss.txt, for the other two books, this command is not executed because we already have these books analyzed. So this is the feature that I mentioned before with make, that doesn't repeat the work that has been already done. So to continue with the challenge, is we needed to move the line that we have generated at the beginning. I mean, to move this rule at the beginning, so we can. So what we can do? Let's find a little bit tricky. Okay, to move that at the beginning is yeah. I mean, to copy and paste it depends on your on the. If you are using, I would recommend if you use a Notepad or a text editor that has a graphical interface, you can use Control C, Control V. But in this case, yes, it's well, in Linux. What I can do is I can select and click in the wheel button of my mouse. I can paste the. But yeah, please tell me know if you have any issues with that, and then I can remove that line. So the script should look like that. I will see if I can. Yes. Well, also the last part is update clean in order to add the file that we have results.txt. So yeah, this is the exercise of the solution of the challenge. So now if we type make without anything else, make will execute the first rule, and the first rule is results. You see that results depends on il.dat, abyss.dat, last.dat. So let's continue. Okay, let's move to the here. So okay, in this part, what I will I will explain is because that is a way when you use make file. Well, before I see that there is a. Okay, I see that we have a. Yes, I see there is a question from Sachin. Please, yeah, feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah, my question is, when we write, for example, absys.dat, after that we give the dependencies books.absys.text. But that is already given when we write the Python command, right? Python something.py books.absys. The path is already given. So why we need to specify it when we write absys.dat colon and then the path to the text absys.text?
Yes, yes, that's a good question. What I will explain now is how to avoid typing twice For example, that avis.txt, avis.dat, etc. But the thing is, the syntax is for a rule. There are like two parts. The first part is where you specify the target. The target is the file that you will generate. That is this one.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, is the same as this one. But we will see how to avoid typing again this. And then the dependency. That the dependency is that one that, yeah, as you mentioned, is again repeated here.
Right.
So this is the syntax. What we will see now is a way to avoid typing these two files.
Okay. Yeah. So the dependency, the specification of dependency is compulsory or it's an optional part?
You can avoid, but the thing is, if you don't specify dependencies, it's like you miss the, let's say, you miss the main point, or you miss the feature that make has in order to check if the file has been, if the dependency has been generated or not.
Okay.
If you specify the dependency, when you update, for example, this file, imagine that. You find a typo, you need to update that file.
Okay.
This target, I mean, this rule will be executed again because this file has been updated.
Okay.
So that's the yeah, that's the idea of the
Yeah.
of make to work with the dependencies. And what will we see is because yeah, to avoid because you can have a mistake, and for example, you can type a different dependency in the command line, or a
Okay.
different file name. We will see how to avoid that by using like it's called a wildcard rather than the same name. Mm, I see that, yeah, another person is getting an error with the make, that always get the same response, make nothing to be done for results.txt. If Would you mind to copy the make file, and one of the helpers will try to help you with that? Or also, what I will do is I will if you can download, I will share with you the file, this current version of the file is here. So Rachel, if you download that file, and if you can execute it, this is the latest version of the file. And having that file, you can compare and see what is wrong with your file. Okay, so I will continue with this, and as I explained before, I introduced before, there is a way to avoid typing again this uh, or type again the same this. Okay, sorry, there is a one moment that is just to solve. Yeah, no, I mean that's fine. It's a like we are working as a group, and yes, the no worries at all. Exactly the file that I share is not the same that is on the screen, but it's very similar. So you can use that one, and you will not see like any issues with using that this other version of the file. Okay, let's go back to the lesson. What I wanted to explain here is the way to avoid, for example, introducing twice this because we have the target here, and what we can do here is in order to use the target that we have introduced, we can type this is called a wheel card. So the target of the current rule is we need to type dollar symbol and add the add that we use for when we write an email address. So if I type that, it means that this is the same as the target that is avis.dat. And for example, for the dependencies, in our case, we have only one. But for example, if we want to avoid typing the dependency, we can remove that, and the command will be the same. It's a dollar symbol, and we can specify in this case we have one dependency, or first dependency we can type the less than equal symbol. That is yes, that one. So you see that, for example, typing that, you avoid to repeat the dependencies and repeat the target. Also, we see here in the first rule in the results.txt, we have here that we see here that we have three dependencies. So how you will modify that? What you can do is you type here. So I mean you remove these three dependencies, and you introduce again dollar symbol, and in this case we introduce this symbol that is not sure now about the name. I think it's like the French accent. Otherwise, if anyone knows the name, please type that in the chat. Sorry, I don't remember now. Yes, is that one. If I type that, I will yes, think or flex of correct. Yeah, thank you for that. Sorry that I didn't remember the. So type that symbol, you get all of these dependencies. And when we type this less than equal, what you get is well, in this case, because only we have one, but you get the first dependency. So what we can do is we can see, well, let's update the target and use dollar symbol the path. And what we can do is we can execute, we can run the script and see if that works for us. So I save Control O, Control X. I will do a make clean, because otherwise they will say that everything's already done. make clean. Oops, I see that I have an error with my make file. Mm, is the okay? They said it in the line 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, okay. You see here that here I have spaces rather than. Also, okay. So what we will do is we will remove spaces and type a tab. Yeah, exactly. Now it's a tab. So we save again. Also, when you see an error, normally you panic and you say, oh, there is an error, what happens? But if you read the error, you get some information. Here, you see make file 4. That means the line where the make file is failing. Because, for example, before I was checking all lines, but because I didn't realize that here they said that the line that was failing was the line. Sorry, it seems that there was an issue with the platform that I got disconnected. Not sure if you miss. What I was explaining is that yes, for the errors, is please read the error. Sometimes, if you, in the worst case, that you don't need how to proceed, you can search that in Google. If I assume if you search this line, you will get a lot of information because, yeah, it's not the first time. Everyone has the same error. Okay, so let's type now make. Well, because I didn't do make clean, make, and you see that the error is sorry, the make script work. So why it will be like a useful why it will be useful to use like the first dependency or the dependencies, etc. We will see now an example. If we open the file, here the dependencies are the I.dat, abyss.dat, last.dat. But imagine that we modify the script, we modify the Python script. It will not be updated because yes, it doesn't. It is not included in the dependencies. So a way to add that is can add here the name of the script, the Python script, and in case that this Python script is updated, you can this rule will be executed again. What happens now that we cannot use any longer this because that means that is for all dependencies. So the way to rewrite that is type that means first dependency. Then there is another way that is you can use also the start.dat. So you can execute all the here you get all the files that are named with the dat, and then you write the output in the results.txt that is the target. Okay, so what I will do is I will give you some I will give you 5 minutes play around with this, and the exercise here or the challenge here is to update this part in order to get the remove the target here. Sorry, yeah, the target here and the dependency here. So use wildcards to update this. Well, this has been already updated, but the rest of the files. So I will. What I will do is I will share my screen and give you 5 minutes to do that. And also, in case that you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. So on the bottom you can see the what I have learned so far for the first dependency of the current rule. You need to use this one. For the dependencies, for the dependencies, this one, and the target of the current rule is this one. Also, when you have finished the challenge, yeah, please feel free to type that on the chat, or yes, also you have a question. So yeah, you a few more minutes, and then we will continue with the lesson. Yes, I see that. Yeah, some people are solving the. Great. So what I will do is let's solve the exercise together. Okay, so I will change the screen. This one should be, yes. What I realize is, well, okay, let's solve it. Is so here is easy, is plain code words. So I remove that, the dependency, and I type the dollar symbol and less than equal. Now is dollar symbol and add, and the same for this dependency. Dollar symbol, yes. So you should have, yeah, something similar like that. Also, yeah, I explained this before before time. Here, if you go to the next part of the lesson, it's explained that you can have data dependencies that are these ones, are these three ones, but also you can have code dependencies. What I explained before, that if you execute, if you update the Python script, if the Python script doesn't appear as a dependency, you will not get the rerun the script. So what is the solution? To use to add it as a dependency and rewrite using this the star. That means yeah, star dot dot. That means all the files that end with the dot dot. Oh yes. What's next? Also, the good thing of Makefile, as you may see, that is the try to avoid repeating things. Using these wildcards, we avoid repeating the target, repeating the dependencies, etc. But you may notice that here, for example, for this file, you have this Python command. For this other file, you have this other Python command. And for this file, you have again the same Python command. So is there a way to, okay, this is because here we have 3, 4 books. Imagine that you have 20 or you have 50, or imagine that you have the collection of the books collection, and don't know, you add new books every day or every week, etc. So there is a way to say, okay, the files that end with .dat, please use this command. The thing is that we need to rewrite the command, but it will be it be not difficult. So what we needed to do is okay. Let's start here. So to say that everything that ends with that, instead of using a star here in the target, what we use is the percentage symbol. As you see, percentage symbol dot that, and also the dependencies. Here we type books, and also we remove the name of the book, and what we will use is again the percentage symbol, because uh, if you use here star, it means that it depends on all of the books. But if you use the percentage symbol like this, it says that it depends on the target that you have here. I mean, if for example, imagine that you find you find the book that is aisle.txt. So this is this rule only applies for that book. Doesn't apply for all the. I don't know if that makes sense. Also, in order to here, instead of using that is first target, what you need to use is another. You need to change that. So instead of use the symbol, you need to use star dot that. Because here what we use is we are using patterns. So what it said is each file that meet this pattern, and also the dependency will be the same name as the you have here, .txt, and here you specify that the 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 target. I mean, you got here this part, the let's say the percentage symbol. At the beginning, it could be like a quite tricky to understand, because it's quite yeah, the first time that you see all of these symbols, but once that you get more familiar with that, it will be easier. Normally, you write this once, and you execute this script a lot of times. So if we have this, what we can do is we can remove. Also here, what is in the documentation, we can add a count words. We can add the script, the Python script, in case that it gets update. So having that, we can remove these lines. Let's see if I remember. Yes. So you see now that this is like the script looks much more elegant, because you don't have here the repeated all of the books. You have only with these two lines, you can execute. You can get everything from the. So okay, let's execute that and see if that works. Control save, Control O, Control X, and then let's do make clean. Otherwise, it will not. And if I execute, if I type make, execute make, you will see that yes, it works, because it gets for each book that we have, it execute count words and then execute test shipped. So what else? Okay, there is a question that is says why did count words occur twice? Now, you see in the screen, it's executed 3 times. Once for this book, the second one for this book, and the third one for this book. And then at the end, we get all of these files that we have already generated, and we get the results.txt. So if I print results.txt, I can see the ratio. For example, here in last, it is in the make file. Okay, sorry. So well, just to finish, yeah, here in this book, we see that here is the ratio is 2.20. So the law say that is close to 2. So yes, here also it's valid, that law. Okay, let's open the mail. Okay. Here I include this. I include that has a dependency in case that this Python script gets modified. This rule is executed again. That's why I include this here as a dependency. It's like it's the same as in the first rule that we include here. This has a dependency. So let's exit, and now okay, let's I will so for example, having this is could be enough, but also I will explain other features of make that yeah, could be maybe a little bit complex at the beginning, but yes, just to let you know that they exist, and if you want to use them in a future, just yes, you can use them. So what is explained is that you can use variables on in the Python, because here, for example, you see that we use here Python. Okay, we use that command, but imagine that in case of, for example, in my case, sometimes I need to type Python 3 or Python 3, for example, in case that in some computers by default, if it's not update, you get Python Python 2. Yeah, you need to type a Python 3, or imagine that you install a Python in another way, in another place that is not, let's say, the default. So what you can do is you can define here, for example, the variable language equal Python. And then you can, if you want to execute, if you want to use that variable, here you need to use a symbol inside the bracket the name of the variable, that is a language. Well, you see that change the color because detects that is a. And the same with this. Here you can replace that with that. Also, there is a good comment that is said that, for example, this rule, yes, I think it's not having because we already have this one. We don't need that one, so we can remove this one and make this like cleaner. It also has, as Jose said, I mean, could be the case that you want to process only these files and you want to have that rule. So in that case, yes, makes sense to have that rule. But in case that you see that maybe it's not worth it, or yes, feel free to remove that one. Also, for example, imagine that all of this you want to save this variable or you have more variables in your file here on top, and you want to save them in another file. So what you can do is, okay, let's save this file, and you can create another file called nano. Well, we use a nano. Let's use the same name as is in the documentation, config.mk. So here, what you can include data variable language equal Python. So if you save that file with the Control O, Control X, and now you open make file, instead of having that, what you can do is you can include. Okay, let's put this on the top. You can use include config.mk. So and you see that on the bottom we use this. So let's save this file. Control O, Control X, make a clean. And now if I execute make, you see that it works. This is a way to separate the variables from the file. Because, for example, in my case, I use Python, but I can also use Python 3. So let's modify the. I'm not sure if this will work for you. So I would recommend just to show this to watch the screen and see how it works. If we edit config.mk, imagine that you want to use instead of Python, let's say Python 3. So you can modify that, and then make clean. And if you type make, you will see that you use Python 3 instead of Python. This is a way to get like different files, to separate in files because normally this is useful. Or well, one of the reasons is when you compile a software in your laptop, you can have a GCC, you can have the GNU compiler, or if you use a Cray machine, you want to use the Cray compilers. The same with Intel, AMD, etc. You can use different compilers. So just editing I will use using nano config. Here you can specify the name of the compiler, well, of the Python, that in this case is Python 3 or Python. Let's leave it like the same. Also, okay, last Okay, here is also explained that you can use functions to, in case that you want to get. Yes, there is a. I will show again the. Sorry, I'll go to my. I don't know. Config.mk. So here, I mean, also it's important that is the name of the variable equal and then the command that we want to use. Also, you can have other. Imagine that you can have, let's say, the folder where you want to save the files in case that imagine that you want to use the folder output. So you can also define that. I mean, here you can define as many variables as you want. And then you can use these variables in the make file, including the configuration file that is here in the first line. And then to use the variables, you type a dollar symbol and between brackets the name of the variable. For example, here the books we use that folder, but imagine that we can use. Okay, I will explain this example. Nano config. Imagine that you want to use book underscore folder, and the name of the folder is books, right? So you can also specify that. So if we edit, no, make file, you can edit here instead of using books, you can use books folder. I think it was the name of the variable. Now I don't. Well, let's save and let's check config. Oh no, book folder. You see. So you can use that. Use make clean. Make. Yes, you see that takes the name of the. Also, could be okay. I will show you two more two functions that you may use in a future. The first function is mm, okay. I will open again the. Oops. No. Fine. Oh, sorry, what I forgot here is that you can use echo to. I'm not sure this is explained later, but well, I will explain it now. Here, because okay, the structure here is that we have the target, we have here the dependencies, and we have here what we want to execute. But so far we have execute only one command line, but you can have several. So what you can do is here, enter and then press tab. And if you use, you can use the add echo and print a message on the screen, like saying what we can say, for example, generating that file. So if you use that, you say Control O, Control X, in order to execute again. Otherwise, you type a make clean, make, and you see that now it shows in also that's good because it's a kind of when you read the make file, it makes more sense or it's easier to understand what it's doing. So when you add that, each time print generating that file. That's a good question. That is a question that said if I want to use, for example, to create a directory or any bash command, should I use the add before it? Using the add, it means that it doesn't print the command. I mean, let's open let's open the file. If I remove that, it will print echo generating that file and then the output of the command. Let's see that by example. Make clean, make. You see that first print the command and then print the output message. So if you want to avoid like printing that, here you use that. But for example, if you want to okay, here because it will be execute only once. mkdir imagine data. You don't need to add. If you add, this command is not print on the screen. Don't know if that answered your question. I mean, you can use this without and I would recommend to use that because you can see on the screen what actually the rules does or not. Let's move that. Okay, to finish the yes, I will explain like two functions that may be useful for a future. Okay, imagine that you want to. Okay, I will use the sample that is in the documentation in order not to confuse things. Imagine that you have you want to list the books that you have in your collection. Okay, you can do that using a bash command like ls, but imagine that no, you want to use make. So the name of the name of the target will be variables. And yes, it doesn't have any dependencies. We will include that in the funny targets. So here what we can do is we will do echo, and what we will do is first we will generate the list of files. To generate that, there is a function where first the name of the variable is txt files equal, and to we use a dollar symbol, and between brackets we write the function. The name of the function is called a wildcard. And here you write you need to write a pattern. The pattern is books last star.txt. So what this function, what it does is retrieves all the files that meet this pattern. And because this is a function, in order to save that in a variable, you need to use you need to use brackets and use the dollar symbol. Also, to type that is to use that variable here in echo is mm, yes, use sorry txt files. I mean, you need to add a dollar symbol before in order to print. Otherwise, it will not print the. So let's save that and see if that works. So if we type make variables, oops. Okay, I understand why it doesn't work. Okay, you see that yeah, this is not what we want because the name of the variable is longer than the one character. That's why we need to use brackets. Now it will work. And now you see that yeah, also the change the color and yeah, seems like a. Let's save the file, Control O, Control X, and if we execute again, make variables. You will see that we have these four books. Have a last.txt, il.txt, abyss.txt, and sierra.txt. This is here you get the full, let's say the full, well, the full path. Not the full path. You get like the whole pattern. But what if you want to get only, let's say, you want to get only last, or you want to get only the name, rather than the folder where the book is, etc. So you can play. There is another function that is called. Okay, let's open the makefile. This last part is a little bit like a more complicated and more difficult. This is everything recorded, so later this well, no, tomorrow. I mean, when the recording is available, or while you have the material available on the web page, you can follow at your own pace the material. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, well, I will say it now before I finish with the explanation. If you have any other questions, or if we go through the lesson and there are some questions that I didn't see because yes, difficult to like keep an eye on the chat or on the screen, etc. Please write it down in the collaborative notes. Write the question, and I will be happy to answer them in this note, and also in tomorrow during the class. Okay, I will. Yeah, this is a good question. Is what is the link where the materials and the recordings will be available for our review? So I will paste the link. You have the link if you open the. Mm, okay, I will open the moment. It's in the ARCHER2 website. Okay, I will change the. Mm, is okay, this one. So here in this web page, okay, we'll paste that in the chat. Here in the bottom, you see course materials that if you click on them, well, you have this page, but you have the 4 lessons, and the lesson of today is automating task with make. So if you click on that, you have the lesson here, and you have everything here that we have explained. Also, the course chat is here, and this is what I said. If you have any questions that were not answered during the lesson, or for example later in the afternoon, if you have something, please write here the questions at the bottom of the file. Okay, I will finish like explaining this feature of make, and yes, you will be free to have lunch and yeah, have a longer break, longer and deserved break. Okay, I will switch screens. Well, actually, there are two things to explain. One is to use this function. The function, imagine that, for example, for that that file, yeah. Thanks. Imagine, for example, to use the data files. Well, the function is called pattern substitution. That is, you take the pattern, the replacement string, and the list of names of the. So let's type that. Is also is in the documentation in case that you want to copy and paste that files equal, and remember to write a dollar symbol and bracket. And here inside, you type the name of the function. The name of the function is path sorry, yeah, that's it. So it's a pattern substitution. So first, what we give is the pattern, let's say the original pattern, that is books slash percentage symbol dot txt comma, then the replacement that we want to do, that is take take the name of the file, sorry, the name of the book, that is the percentage symbol, and rename with the dot, and then okay, the input. So the input will be the previous one that we have before, that is txt files. So having that, if you want to print echo, you want to print that variable and see what is the result. Control O, Control X, and make variables. You see what it has been done. So it takes, for example, it takes this book. Well, it takes the name that is last, and what it does is add dot at the end of the name of the book, and the same for the rest of the files. So this is the function that I wanted to show, and that is one last thing to finish to finish that what is said that is important to document the make files. So in order to do that, you can edit nano make file, and you add well, I will add it here. Well, for in the phone is a help. But what you can do is you can use help, and then in echo, sorry, using the variable echo, you can write the help that or the notes that, for example, this file has been generated on the 2nd November 2020. And you can add more notes to that. So if when you execute make a help, you can show that that help to the what it is explained in the documentation. This is a little bit complex, but in case that well, just to see everything of the that for example here, what you can do is you can for research. I mentioned before that if you use the hash, you can create a node that is, for example, results.txt that will generate a table. Or imagine, for example, here, clean, it will remove data PNG files. Imagine that, for example, you want to print them in echo. What you can do is you can use, for example, double. This is a feature of Bash rather than make, but for example, you can use this double, and in help, you can add the following that I will because yeah, I will copy straight from the. I will use make file. You can add that this is in the documentation. It's like a very complex, and actually it's not. This is like a string substitution pattern that is. You can find out it later with some help. Of if you have any questions, yeah, later today or tomorrow, feel free to ask. But if we execute that, Control X, we also make a help. You will see that we have the line that we have specified, and then we can print. If we want, we can print all the targets that we want. And one of the ways is using that line. That line, what it takes a make file and removes all line except the lines that starts with the double hash key, and prints this and prints this. But well, this is quite the thing is that you type you type this once and you get you don't need to type this again, let's say. So, but yeah, I understand that this is like a little bit complex, and yes, I have used make files for a long while, and to be honest, yes, I found this yes, that is quite useful, but I never used it before. Yeah, because I don't know. To be honest, I didn't know that feature. But yes, in future make files, I may start using that. So well, this is the end of the lesson. yeah, I see that. Yeah, it started like let's say quite slow, and at the end was like we cover a lot of things. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that all the material is covered, and then when you have the recording, you can go in your own pace, step by step, and replicate the results. And also, you have the documentation on the website. So yes, now it's time if you have any questions. If not, yes, have a nice rest of the day. Have a nice lunch break, and yes, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we will see Git, how to use Git. My colleague Jose will explain that part. I will be around as a helper. Yes, we'll learn a little bit more how to use Git. That is a very interesting tool to keep track of changes and share code between peers. I use that quite a lot recently, so it's a very good tool to learn. Yes, thank you so much, and yes, see you tomorrow. Thanks.